Welcome to the APTA's fourth Grand Prix event of the season, the Boston Open presented by the Weston Golf Club and APTA national sponsors Viking, Save-A-Tree, and Uline. We're live on the APTA network presented by our live stream production partner eNet Live. I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside Mark Fischel, bringing you the quarterfinal match between the number 3 seeds, Drew Broderick and Scott Kahler, and the number 5 seeds, Martin Bostrom and Sebastian Bredberg. So Mark, what do you think about the match?
Well, let's take a look at the player bios, Brad, before we get into the strengths and weaknesses of them. Martin Bostrom and Sebastian Bredberg are both in the Stamford area. Sebastian is director of racket sports at the Stanwich Club. Drew Broderick and Scott Kahler are a new team. They play the same tempo and style, so you'd think they'd fit. Drew obviously is the 4-time national champion, the 3-time defending national champion, and is the director of racket sports at Canoebrook in New Jersey. Scott Kahler is the director of racket sports at Fox Chapel in Pittsburgh. So let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of the players, Brad. What do you see?
Well, you know, Bostrom and Bredberg, of course, have played together hundreds of matches, and so we have the established team against the new partnership in Broderick and Kahler. And of course, Bostrom and Bredberg, Bostrom's one of the best pure hitters in the game, has a great serve, drive it off both wings. And Bredberg is steady but extremely quick with great volleys, so he'll look to blitz behind some of Bostrom's strong shots.
Let's take a quick look at the draw landscape presented by Save-A-Tree. See how these two teams got here. And you can see that Broderick and Kahler got here relatively easily. Had a pretty good match with Gonzalez Montalbano, as did Bostrom and Bredberg. So I expect both teams to be fresh and playing their best battle. You know, to me, Brad, I look for Drew Broderick to be hitting all the overheads. Scott Kahler's got one of the best drop shots in the game. He's going to be hanging all over the net. And I noticed that Martin Bostrom's returning from the deuce side. They have an ability to switch sides, and we've seen them to go both ways. So I think a lot of the play is going to be Broderick to Bostrom.
No, I think they'll definitely switch in the backcourt, Bostrom and Bredberg. It'll be curious to see in the backcourt for Broderick and Kahler where they're going to get most of their offense from. That's what I'm curious to see, how they're working that out as a team. I know they're going to be super consistent back there and super consistent at the net. And I agree with you. I think Broderick's going to take most of the overheads, and Kahler's going to be looking to cut off volleys and use that tremendous drop shot of his.
On the court next to us, we have Juan Araya and Jeff Morneau playing against Thomas Nolan and Adam Gart, who's had a great event and made it through to the quarterfinals. A tremendous result. We'll see how much they have left, because they've had a couple of barn burners, including a 7-6 in the third win over Burker McInerney in the last round.
Yeah, that's a great win for those guys. We've been talking about Gart and Nolan for a little bit.
All right, guys.
And what an effort.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's listen to
this quarterfinal round match is best of 3 sets with tie breaks. To my right, from Summit, New Jersey, Drew Broderick. And from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Scott Kahler. To my left, from Stamford, Connecticut, Martin Bostrom. His partner from Stamford, Connecticut, Sebastian Bredberg. Bostrom and Bredberg won the toss and elected to receive.
So Drew Broderick is the left-hander in the blue cap, and he'll be serving to Martin Bostrom in the brown shirt and the black hat.
All right, here we go.
So
15 love.
Match with solid contact at your forehead, Brad. Builds confidence.
I did say he's one of the purest hitters in the game, too. I think I jinxed him right off the bat. That's great play. So we have a complete reversal of fortunes there. The big drive come from Sebi and the blitz from Martin Bostrom, but nice blitz there.
Bostrom's working out regularly and in his great shape. There they are switching back. Bredberg might be the quickest player on tour.
No, he moves. He gets around really well. both teams transitioning back very easily. She goes for the headshot on a low volley. I think I would have lob volleyed that and retreated. Tough play to play that all or nothing ball. I generally think if you play an all or nothing ball, you get more in nothing than you usually get all.
Bostrom's backhand is just a tremendous shot. The forehand's great. The backhand's unreadable.
Yeah, he holds that ball, and he hits it hard or slow, and you can't tell which direction or what speed he's going to put on it. Great drop.
Great, yeah.
Game Broderick, Kahler. They lead the first set, 1 game love.
He's going to have to be careful hitting that half-paced or quarter-paced drive against those guys, because Broderick and Kahler are going to play tight to the net. They're going to have the opportunity to hit that. So I think if you're going to try to play that, you almost got to move forward a little bit.
You'd think that Kahler would be the one hitting more of the board drop shots. That's because Broderick's going to be hitting more of the overheads.
Yeah, in that case there, they didn't move him off the net first, so that's why the opportunity was there for Broderick.
Love 15.
This volley there. Don't want to give Drew the high to low ball. I don't mind him driving off the deck, but I don't want him spiking the ball or hitting that Zorro cut overhead at me.
Drew is generating so much more spin on his overheads this year. Really taking a big step forward with it. Drew also looks to be in tremendous shape. I don't know if I've ever seen him looking this good.
Love 30.
Say that was the middle third or lower third of the net, Brad?
I'm going to go with middle third because it's more positive.
I think it's less negative. I don't think you can call it more positive.
Fair point. Oh, that's a great
15-30.
touch waterfall overhead there by Bredberg.
Caught Kahler in the court. And that's a great time to hit that waterfall when your opponent's in tighter. A couple loose errors from Bostrom early.
You do have to watch that with Bostrom and Bredberg. You know, a few loose overheads here and there.
That was a tight volley right there. That is just not where you want to hit the overheads to Drew Broderick.
I agree.
Now, Brad, we really should mention the match that Bostrom Bredberg played with Broderick Palmer at the finals of Atlantic earlier this year.
Yeah, they had a great tournament at Atlantic Open.
30-40.
Having match points against Broderick Palmer.
6-5 in the third set tiebreak. That is not a shot you want to hit against Scott Kahler.
I think for either one of these guys, don't bounce
Game
the ball
Broderick
down.
Kahler. They lead the first set 2 games to love.
From waist high, but don't give them balls they can spike. Bobbled out there. Just
15
missed.
love.
Chair umpire Marshall Chapin, who's been instrumental in organizing the umpires here this week in Boston, along with Michael Montalbano.
Yeah, Drew, Broderick and Scott Kahler are going to be very tough at the net. Super great volleyers up there.
Whoa! Bostrom with a great
30
blitz.
love.
Misses the volley.
Yeah, a little off balance. Couldn't quite get there in time.
One of the things that Bredberg did in Atlantic very successfully is he had a lot of low lobs down the line to Broderick, where Broderick didn't have a chance to generate a lot of spin, and then he kind of blitzed behind him to force the ball into Bostrom's corner. And he felt like that got Bostrom a lot of good swings.
That'll be a key. I agree.
40
They have
love.
to set up that back corner offense. Right now, it doesn't look like they have a specific plan out there.
As we talked
40,
about, you're seeing
15.
a litany of errors off the Bostrom paddle right now. He's prone to that. But then he's also prone to periods of brilliance.
Oh, without a doubt. See that? It's just a silly
Game Broderick Kahler. They lead the first set 3 games love.
Low forehand, hit the ball straight up hard. That tends to land against the back wires.
Can you get me one more?
shot. Save a tree. Tree shrub and lawn care. APTA thanks our official sponsor, Save a Tree, the green choice for tree, shrub, and lawn care. Let Save a Tree focus on your landscape so you can focus on your game and enjoy every outdoor moment at home or at play. Save a Tree provides environmentally sensible services to properties in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, and Western regions. Contact them at saveatree.com for a complimentary landscape assessment by a knowledgeable arborist.
Araya Morneau up 2-1 early against the really impressive team of Gart and Nolan. Impressive and have to be exhausted.
Yeah, but it's great at these tournaments. You get the breakout tournament. We'll see if this is one of them. They're having a great result here. If they could follow it up with this, that would be amazing. But making the quarters here from an unseeded position, pretty impressive.
See if Bostrom Bredberg can get on the board here. All the top players are really patient on balls against the wires.
Yep.
None as patient as Drew Broderick.
And I think in some cases,
15
you have
love.
to stay patient. You have to be willing to hit a few hundred. You can pressure him, but it's of all the players on the tour, he's the hardest guy to pressure in the screens, I think.
That was sincere. That wasn't a short joke.
Now for the viewers out there, if you watch the backcourt, you'll notice Broderick changes grip often. He'll go from that grip he's holding there, continental, to a semi-western, looking for offense. He just changed it there. Something to watch out for as the match continues.
That's not the shot.
30
Bredberg.
love.
You want to hit that soft, low ball to the Broderick forehand.
Again, I agree. He missed that one, but it's a bad choice, and it's going to burn him in the end. And I'm actually surprised they're hitting this many balls to Broderick.
They said they were going to play Broderick in the backcourt.
30 love.
Both Kahler and Broderick like that high ball. So look to see Bostrom and Bredberg hitting the ball a little lower towards them. Broderick's the best you've ever seen against the wires?
I mean, he's certainly up there. You know, he is always making amazing digs. He's never out of position to get them, and he's patient.
Sense in the court, understanding of where the ball's going, reading the nick.
Now, one of the teams to have a great match against was Broderick and Palmer at that time was Wilkinson and Bredberg.
Game, Bostrom,
Out of their
Bredberg.
playbook, they
Broderick,
believed there was a
Kahler lead
little
the
shot
first set,
clock
3
there
games to
from,
1.
You know, Palmer and Broderick too. If they could keep the ball low and deep enough times, then, you know, Broderick and Palmer at that time would go for a shot that might, even those guys would go for a shot that might be ill-advised from time to time.
Just got a report from our intrepid reporter, Timo Araya, that Araya Morneau at 3-1 first set.
Thank you, Timo.
That's a dangerous shot against Scott Kahler, that 3/4 drive.
Yeah, Kahler's got a great offensive volley.
Martin Bostrom is also in tremendous condition. Spent a lot of time working out in the gym. By Bredberg.
15 love.
Crossed up.
I don't know if he just lost that volley, but he missed that badly. It looked like he had a sitter there. That was interesting. It was a great blitz.
Oh. You do not want to hit it short and high at the
15
Bostrom
all.
backhand.
Yeah, short and high in general, bad.
Some guys have problems generating their own pace. Bostrom is not one of
15-30.
those guys.
Not one of those guys.
15-30.
Held that, that drive nicely off the screen. Good look.
30 all.
Forced that a little bit, but I like the look of Bredberg cutting off that volley, looking for a possible drop.
Great lob from Bredberg.
Dig.
Again, a little high up for Kahler. You got to keep the ball low against him, especially with that continental grip on the forehand side.
Yep. No, he doesn't generate much from a basic kind of waist-high ball, but from above his shoulder height or so, that's where he's getting his offense.
Boy, if Bostrom had missed that, I would have said that was a wild swing. Instead, it was a brilliant shot, but awfully deep in the court to drive that ball.
I agree.
30-40.
Chance to get back on serve.
But things have settled down a little since the first couple of games, which is nice to see.
There's no question in my mind that Bostrom Bredberg believe they're here to win.
Bostrom Bredberg.
Oh, I think so.
Broderick Kahler lead the first set 3-2.
You know, the key is, can they manage themselves well, stay disciplined in a strategy that they're going to want to play, and avoid those games where they miss 2 overheads or something like that.
For me, it all comes down to Martin Bostrom. When he's right, he's one of the best players in the country. When he's wrong, let's just say he's a little lower down in the list.
Yep.
He makes too many careless errors.
Yep. I mean, we did those stats from our great statistician, Graham McNerney. Remember one year he led the country in winners and errors, both. You know, so it's hard to have it both ways. You got to pare down the errors a little bit.
But the errors are, so many times, are careless errors. Missed lobs, missed overheads, faults.
Love 15.
Shank from Drew Broderick.
Love 30.
Write that down.
It was a false serve, so it's
Still,
left
it was amazing he faulted it. Shanked it. But this is the Martin Bostrom we were talking about. 6-1, Araya Morneau. If Jerry Viant was here, she'd talk about the water going down the drain quickly over there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, such an effort from Garton Nolan. It could just be they have nothing left in the tank. Great blitz, good look. They'll take that play all the time, just missed it.
Is there any open?
Yeah, I can keep your phone or your iPad down there. But I don't have enough to get it.
15-40.
Set it right on top of Brad's laptop. Set it right on top of Brad's laptop. I have like a 6-foot charger already over here.
Great crowd here at the Weston Golf Club. Drew Sawyer, Genius Chernatze, just a great job putting the tournament together. Really a great atmosphere here tonight. Yeah, that's not where you want to go.
Ball, yeah, that's not the ball. And then it tries to overplay a shot, but it all starts with that first down up ball, which sets that progression into play for Broderick.
And then you have that frantic race to catch up as you're out of position.
And why he didn't just lob that ball up, I'm not sure about. That's exactly the play they want. They had it in the game before. They missed it this time. Plugs him with the ball. Great shot. Like it.
A heck of a volley by Bredberg while he was bailing.
Yep. Sebastian has great volleys, good hands.
Those hard overheads to Kahler were just absolutely a mistake.
And then the same thing, you give him the high ball, transition back, you try for too fine a shot on the transition ball, and an error.
It's so frustrating when you compound one mistake with the second one. Get the ball back in play, start the point again.
Little tied to 3/4 pace drives there from Broderick.
Great backhand from Broderick. Just a perfect spot. He hits that backhand with such precision, Brad.
Yeah, he actually does a great job holding his ball, hitting it hard one time, rolling it the next time, another one with a quick, short stroke. He really is quite precise with it.
Well, it's that backhand that enabled him to play the backhand side.
Yeah, he wants to look for that ball that you try to go into a corner and cut on it, but if you dump it down the middle, he'll take that shot. So he maintains offense on both sides of the court, wide and to the middle.
And in that regard, he's revolutionized the game. Before Drew Broderick, lefties did not play the backhand court.
Yeah, you know, I always thought that was a little silly because righties play the deuce court, so lefties can play the ad court. But you know, you're absolutely right. It was this sort of like unwritten rule: no lefties over there.
Bostrom catches the seam there.
All.
But you saw Broderick doing there what we hadn't seen Bostrom doing, which was retreating. He's going to put up a lob, get back in the point.
It's a great volley behind.
40-30.
It's a dangerous shot when you move to the inside and you leave your corner open.
Especially against someone who volleys like Drew Broderick.
Oh, I think Bostrom's move there actually distracted Kahler on that volley. Elicited the error.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brad. Unbelievable volley from Drew Broderick.
Kahler.
But that is
Bostrom
the
hit him right
play.
in that left hip.
Yep, it's a great shot. But that is the play Bredberg and Bostrom want. Yeah, good return. That's a great dig.
Great try from Kahler. Again, great drive blitz combination.
Oh, that is the premier combination for that team. There's that low lob down the line that you were talking about earlier, Mark.
Our on-court reporter comes back with information that Gart and Nolan are up 2-love early second set. I think Timo is the shortest on-court reporter in the business, Brad?
But he's the best.
Unquestionably.
Oh, nice waterfall
Advantage
there.
Kahler.
Wouldn't expect Bredberg to get beaten by that.
You know, I thought he had it as well, Mark. Just must have lost it, possibly in the lights. I don't know.
It's my show.
Bostrom and Bredberg are on the verge of getting their teeth into this match, and each time they've gotten close, here we go, they switch it in the backcourt. Wild miss from
Game
Bostrom.
Broderick Kahler. They lead
5-2,
the first
first
set,
set.
5 games to 2.
I think Bostrom sometimes tries to make it too good. You know, he's going for, it seemed like the outside of the line instead of just putting off the guy's hip. He's trying to hit the ball around his opponent.
Never around him, only through him.
All right, so 5-2 now. Bostrom Bredberg started a little slow down behind, creeping their way back in, have had some opportunities, but then not quite there.
Played a really bad game on Bostrom's serve at 2-3. Looks like Gart and Nolan are up 3-love in the second set.
Good for them, getting back into this match. You know, sometimes it takes a while to just get your energy back after such a battle. I wonder what their turnaround was. Probably a half hour before that match that finished up in this one here.
Maybe a little more than that because we had to finish the first round of quarterfinals. Oh boy.
Oh!
Do you get extra credit when you force your opponent to hit it over the fence on the fly?
You think you should get double points if he misses by a certain distance?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who's really good at that? Miguel Cobbs. He had great distance on his misses.
Yeah, a certain thing. I mean, you can go to the rules committee. You have some pull in this game, Mark. You know, points by distance is certainly a thing, or it could be.
Okay, 15 all. I think we're getting a new ball. Bredberg is taking a swing with it.
That's a good return there. A nice volley.
Oh,
That's a great cutter. You don't see that very often from Broderick. You underestimated the spin on that one. Move
that
to the
ball
inside.
exploded.
Now you saw Bostrom and Bredberg switch at the net there, and the reason they did that, you had Bredberg anticipating a drive and looking to cut it off. Now it wasn't a drive, so ball went up and Bostrom covered it for him. You're going to see that a little bit throughout the match. Bredberg trying to anticipate a drive and look for a drop volley.
Wow. 40-15.
Was that just 2 errors in a row by Drew?
I didn't see that, Brad. It's hard to imagine that actually occurred.
Wow, great touch on that volley there. That's a great ball.
Game Bostrom Bredberg. Broderick Kahler leads the first set 5 games to 3.
There's that great slippery backhand of Bostrom.
I think it's 4-love. Garden Nolan just heard an anguished cry from Juan Araya. We're going to get confirmation from our on-court reporter. Yeah, so that's a ball with Bostrom's out of position. Creeping to the middle. 4-love. We got confirmation on it. But that's a ball where Bostrom's creeping to the middle when Broderick's got the backhand. You can't afford to be out of position like that.
I want to get back into the match, trying to make a perfect lob down the line. Misses it wide. 2 points from the set now.
Oh, great shot from Broderick.
Yeah, he's done a better job of holding that too. He changes the pace that time. He'll hit through it. And that time he cuts underneath.
Triple set point.
Notice how the players, when they don't hit that good a shot, they stay back, don't crash the net.
Yeah, it was just typical Broderick. Always making the right decision, always finding the right place to hit the ball.
They win the first set 6 games
Okay,
to 3.
that's first set. Broderick Kahler 6-3. We'll be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by eNet Live.
The more they raise their hands out there, the more they'll raise their hands in here. Good Sports gives kids the lifelong benefits of sports by providing equipment to those most in need.
Welcome back to the Boston Open, presented by the Western Golf Club. We're in the quarterfinal round of this match between the number 3 seeds, Drew Broderick and Scott Kahler, and the number 5 seeds, Sebastian Bredberg and Martin Bostrom. And Broderick and Kahler took the first set 6 games to 3. So what do you think of that first set?
Not a heck of a lot, honestly, Brad. I don't think that Kahler and Broderick Kahler played particularly well. I think
they
that
didn't have to,
they didn't have to. They did what they needed to do, but Bostrom Bredberg just gave away too many points.
They're a little loose, and they missed their opportunities when they had them. We'll see if they can kind of tighten up the ship, as they say.
I thought the dispositive game of the set was Bostrom serving 2-3, and he opened it with 2 faults.
Yep, I agree. You know, it was at that moment they felt like they were getting their teeth in the match. They had won 2 in a row, started slowly, and then all of a sudden gave it right back to them, and there it went.
That's great touch from Bredberg.
I like that high lob there. Oh, well done.
Isn't it amazing, Brad, how many times the ball nicks when you're out of position?
Yep, he switched on that one. It was a perfect spot there. Bostrom.
Just not the right overhead. And they know it.
15 all.
We've talked about it time and time again. Don't let these guys hit the ball from a high to low position.
The risk-reward ratio is so bad on that shot, and yet they continue to hit it. There's a great move by Bredberg.
30-15.
Just same thing.
15-30.
4-2. On court reporter
30 all.
Timo Araya.
No reason
Gives
for
us
him
a
to
new
switch
score.
the play down into that side screen there on that point. Play it down the middle. Good shot.
Did Drew Broderick just miss a ball in the wires?
40.
That's
30.
twice that Bostrom's gotten that with a heavy cutter, but only when Broderick's moving to the middle. And it's actually great recognition there by Bostrom to hit that cutting overhead there. That breaks to the side wire.
Really big game early. That's great cut overheads from the Bostrom there. You saw the good from Martin Bostrom that game.
Broderick Kahler won the first set 6-3.
Just a great crowd here. Lots of people watching. Just a tremendous atmosphere. A lot of excitement.
And I tell you, Mark, they do such an amazing job. There's an incredible barbecue out there. They got burgers, they got drinks. You know, there's a lot of activity out there. I was out there before, and it's a constant chatter between the crowd.
A lot of excitement with Johan playing in the first quarterfinal.
All right, that was a good hold. They're starting the set much better than they started the match, so that's a great start.
15 love.
Those are the misses you don't mind.
I don't mind that. I mean, that was the right shot. He owns that. He just hit it long.
So waterfall overheads and hard overheads are the two overheads you don't want to hit against this team.
I agree.
Bredberg catches the seam there.
All.
I'm seeing this now as a pattern. If they could keep developing and recognize when they're creating movement in Kahler, they're able to catch him. They've had him a few times. So if they keep the backcourt team moving up there, they have some opportunities to put more pressure on him at the net. It's not like you would go away from this right now and say, gosh, you know, Kahler and Broderick are just crushing the ball at him. They have such backcourt offense. It's not there.
Yeah, I agree.
But at this point, they haven't needed anything. So it's going to be incumbent on them to put some pressure in there. That's a great blitz move there.
15-30.
Starting to put together some good sequences from the backcourt.
Oh, let cord. That's it. Well, you
15-40.
earn those, Mark. So, like
John
you said,
Milbank.
never apologize.
And you don't get led to cords if you lob.
That's right.
That's why you never lob, Brad.
Never. Lob? Aye.
That's a ball he's
30,
got to put
40.
in play.
He was trying to lob it up. He actually made the right choice. He just didn't execute.
Yep,
Still a
he did
break
make
point.
the right choice. This is a game they got to close.
That's a great lob volley. Nice dig.
Big cut from Bostrom, and they're
Yeah,
up
Bostrom
2-love,
Bredberg.
second
Well
set.
done.
Second set, 2 games to love.
Looks like
And
a
here's
riot.
that kind of thing, the danger zone for a team like, we talked about the fact that Kahler and Broderick really didn't have to do a ton to win the first set. When the other team starts playing better, you might now have to adjust your strategy, adjust the way you play. Oh, gifts it back, going for that
12-15.
high dunk overhead. This is long, it's warm out there.
5-2, Gart and Nolan as they'll attempt to close out the second set. Any issues, Brad, with Jerry Vienna employing a 7-year-old?
Actually, I think there are some certain labor laws that might be violated here today. Good
That's
thing
what I
we're
was
not on
thinking.
air for anybody to hear this.
15 all.
Willing volunteer, Jerry says. That's suspect.
Just pinpoint precision on that Broderick backhand.
That's a great shot, but I'd rather hit that than the high-low ball. Nice.
30-15.
Now, a lot of last year, Bredberg played with actually kind of a hurt shoulder. And he's healed up, and he's hitting his forehand a lot more than he did most of last year.
Broderick just
30
hits the
all.
right spot every time.
That was a good return right off the right hip. I personally would like to see him serve Broderick more down the middle of the court than out wide.
Take away the angle.
Yep. Oh!
That was a wild miss. And those are the points that you can't afford to donate against Broderick because he's not going to give you any. Just worked so hard to get up a break. As he hits the ball through again.
Nice.
Just don't understand the waterfall overheads.
Happy from the lob there instead of the turnaround drive there by Bostrom in the transition game.
Great blitz from Bostrom.
It's a part of his game that's massively improved. Probably part of it based on his conditioning improving.
Great eye from Bredberg, letting that ball go. We're back to deuce. Volley from Bostrom there, but again, not where you want to hit the overheads. That's much better.
Let's start it this way. Bill Johnson and I were on about 4 days. 3 of the days, neither of us got fish. And Bill's a good fisherman. You know, I mean, we caught fish.
That long low overhead to the middle has been successful for Bostrom too. I like that shot. It's been very, very good.
Great volley there.
It was, but again, stop. Oh! Pulled the trigger one too many times there.
Bostrom.
You keep putting your hand in the lion's cage, the lion's going to bite you. And the spike overhead to Drew Broderick is the lion's cage. Really big point right here. Bostrom Bredberg switch at the net. Great dig from Kahler at the wrong side of the paddle.
Now, I like that long, low overhead towards the middle from Bostrom. That's a great play.
Game Bostrom Bredberg. They lead the second set 3 games to love.
That long
Broderick
overhead
Kahler
is sort
won
of
the first set
at
6-3.
Broderick. Very effective. It's coming in low to the side screen, giving him no offense. Starting to draw him out of position a little bit.
Huge hold there. Sebastian
match.
Bredberg.
It's a match now. And now we'll see. I mean, you don't see any panic or anything at all from Broderick and Kahler that would make you think they're down 3-love or they're worried about it.
Has Drew Broderick ever panicked?
I've never seen it.
Arias serving 3-5, second set.
Yeah, you can see the top of our screen there. It's a great effort from Gart and Nolan.
Scott Kahler to serve. Now Bostrom Bredberg are switching every time at the net.
Wow. Getting
Get
a
the-
little looser.
15.
Get the Bostrom overhead in the middle. And he's really played well the second set.
You know, there's a the great Aman Singh once said, you know,
Who?
the great Aman Singh. You don't know him?
Indian
Sage of
philosopher?
Sage, Indian philosopher. He said the only guy who beats
Love
Martin Bostrom
30.
is Martin
Martin
Bostrom.
Bostrom. That's why he's the great Aman Singh.
That's why he is.
The pace of play has really picked up, which is a big benefit to Bostrom Bredberg. And that's exactly the type of shot Bostrom was missing in the first set.
Isn't it funny how when things start to go better, the game starts to get more confident?
That one I don't mind as much because Broderick is so deep in the court.
That's great. What a dig, but great overhead. Oh!
We got to see that again.
Let's see if we can get the production crew to pick that up. Oh, they're on it.
I don't know if that ball was ever more than 2 inches off the ground, Brad.
I mean, it was a great cut overhead and a terrific read. You could see it happening, and Brosberg read it, and I think he just slapped that up the line.
Amazing shot. Araya back to 4-5 in the second set.
15-40.
Tells Timo Araya, tells us.
All right, 540. Wow. Tell you what, Broderick making more errors than I've seen in a while.
Game Bostrom Bredberg. They lead the second set 4 games to love.
4 games to love. Let's see if we can see that shot after the game here.
On the changeover, we're going to show it.
$15 love.
It's like a dip of energy in there
I
from
was
Kahler
about to say
and
that.
Broderick. You know, that's just
15 all.
it's a great friend, somebody falling to you. You're low on energy.
30-15.
Well, it's all rolling downhill right now for Bostrom Bredberg. They look great.
Yeah, it was a great shot, but again, a little sluggish in the back court.
All.
I tell you, I always tell my partners, let's go. You know, you want to step on your opponents when you get the ball rolling, not give them things back. Don't give anybody life in this game. There's really no safe lead in platform tennis.
No. I like when people say, oh, we had them. Oh, what a get from Bredberg.
Oh, that's nice touch. I like that stay-in blitz. Well
Another
done.
highlight point.
That's a great play.
I was going to say, I like when people say, I had
40-30.
them. You have them when you're shaking hands,
That's
and
right.
sometimes after that, they still come back.
That's it.
Thomas Nolan is cramping on the next court. I think they just had set point to win this second set, and he's starting to cramp up.
tremendous to push him to 3, though. Got to give yourself a chance.
Point for 5 love here. Boy, that ball has so much action on it.
Oh! I tell
Game
you, they're
Bostrom,
missing their looks
Bredberg.
now. Things have
They lead the second
completely
set 5
shifted.
games to love. Broderick Kahler won the
Like
first
we
set
said,
6-3.
I actually consider this strangely a slight danger zone, you know, because they want to keep up this momentum, finish out this set, and then go into the third. As opposed to giving them 3 games back or let them back into the set to some degree. Now is this his time mark where we might think being a seasoned team that plays together all the time versus a team that's together for the first time would make a difference?
Not sure. We'll see.
I mean, you know, Broderick and Kahler are pros, been around
yeah.
a lot of tough matches.
Nobody's probably played more tournaments over the last 3 years than Scott Kahler.
Yeah, and Drew also. Great blitz.
15
Convert the
love.
volley.
ATPTA Tour Director Shannon Vincent headed out there to see what Thomas Nolan's doing. Just got to wonder if he's going to be able to stop cramping at this point.
30
Now in the
love.
rules, he's allowed a 10-minute timeout or an injury timeout.
Yeah, what's your feeling on timeouts for cramping, Brad? Because that's stamina conditioning.
I think it would be a
30,
use of the rules,
15.
not in the right way, but if it's allowed, it's allowed, and therefore, if he gets it, good for him.
That's somewhat diplomatic of you, Brad.
Yeah, I'm on both sides of the fence, Michael.
Great cut from Broderick.
40-15.
We're going to show that replay after this game. An amazing around the post shot from Bostrom. Thomas Nolan is still down in the next court. Now he's trying to get up.
Yep. That's the one. He lets that ball drop.
40-30.
And we can get a few highlight reels in here. That would be a great one to see again.
That ball was very close. Looked like Bredberg was looking at Bostrom.
For some
See if it was
confirmation
in.
on the call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's take a look at that
Game
replay,
Broderick
Brad.
Kahler.
Amazing
Bostrom,
around the
Bredberg
net
lead
post
second
shot.
Set, 5-1.
So here's the setup here, Mark. With the cut overhead. Bostrom reads it, moves in. Here's the ball moving off and to the left. Down low. Look at that.
Remarkable.
That's incredible.
Okay, back to live action. First point of the 5-1 game. Great job by our production crew at eNet Live.
Been an around the net post shot too. So now that the errors have been cut off mostly from Bostrom and Bredberg, have we seen a lot of offense from the backcourt yet from Kahler and Broderick?
Nope.
Yeah, none at
15
all.
love.
And in fact, now that they're going for the shots, they're actually starting to give them some errors in this set.
30 love.
Point for 5-all. Araya Morneau, Gart Nolan.
Yeah, Garden and
30-15.
Nolan is still fighting the cramps over there.
Boy, Drew Broderick with consecutive missed
40-15.
returns.
That's 3 errors this game. It's
That
very
happened last
uncharacteristic.
time in 1982.
Yep. I mean, you wonder if it's a certain point he's like, you know, we're way down in the set. I'm going to start
40-30.
hitting some drives, see if I can get some feel on this drive and break it out in the third. I'm not really sure, but very uncharacteristic errors.
5-all, Araya Morneau. Set point here. Five all.
It's a switches at the net there from Bredberg and Bostrom 2 in a row, and there's that second set.
Game Bostrom Bredberg.
Tell you what,
They win the second
uncharacteristic
set,
set there
6
from
games to
Broderick.
1.
That's the most errors I've seen him make in a set probably ever.
Okay, we'll be right back in a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network, presented by ENET Live.
There are no shortcuts to the top. Do you have what it takes? Desire is something within you and only you. For when the ground falls from your feet, will you be the one to rise up? It's a long road to the top, but that's just what it takes to become pro.
Welcome back to the Boston Open, presented by the Weston Golf Club. We're in the quarterfinal round of this match between the number 3 seeds, Drew Broderick and Scott Kahler, and the number 5 seeds, Martin Bostrom and Sebastian Bredbergs. It's 1 set all. It's the first point of the third set. Good blitz, just a miss there by Bredberg. So,
So what do you
Mark,
think,
interesting
Brad?
turnaround in that second set, huh?
Unbelievable. 6-5, Araya Morneau. Gart Nolan will attempt to stay in the match. So what do you think, Brad? It's kind of an odd pair of sets, right?
Yeah, you know, you feel in the first set that Bostrom and Brederick sort of gave it away to him. You know,
30
Kahler
love.
and Broderick didn't have to do too much to win it, and then they dried up the errors. You know, Bostrom and Brederick, and Kahler and Broderick couldn't find any offense there, and actually made more errors than I've seen Broderick make in a match ever.
Well, the errors from Bostrom Bredberg are back, at least in this first game.
Yep.
They missed 2 volleys and a return.
No. So we have those two. We have bowling, we have boxing, we have some faith worship. It's
Oh,
That's a
big
great
forehand from Bredberg.
40-15.
You know, Kahler didn't think he was driving. He didn't get prepared back into his backhand volley position there. He got caught with a forehand volley. Great shot there.
Adam Gart holds at 5-6, and they're playing a tiebreak on the next court.
That's great to see.
producer shows all the graphics, takes care of the scoreboard, basically sends us to the version of spring.
That's the
that
overhead.
big
I like
overhead
that.
from
Long,
Bostrom.
low cutter.
Great dig.
That's the overhead. Keep using.
Yeah, no, I was watching the match online earlier, so
Everything is done in here.
that's awesome.
Right on this black tablecloth.
You got the on-air channel over here.
Yes. Can't forget that.
The pictures are awesome.
Yeah.
I watched on my phone earlier today. It's just not how good it was. It's hard to see.
That's who we need to impress. That's who needs to hit those comments. Yeah.
Wow.
I appreciate it.
40-30.
We talked about the down-up overheads, and Bredberg hit 3 or 4 of those, but those were perfect, and they were combined with long, low overheads to push the guys back, which worked very effectively.
Well, this match at this point clearly resides on the Bostrom
Game
Bredberg
Broderick
paddle.
Kahler. They lead the third
When they
set.
make errors, they
1 game to
lose.
love.
If they don't make errors, they're going to win.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. See how it turns out. I mean, at this point in time, I have not seen any real offense out of Kahler and Broderick yet.
Go ahead and take it down, man.
Like Thomas Nolan just whiffed an overhead in the next court.
Now, should you get like double points for that if you whiff, or is that like the distance rule on an error? Or?
I'm very good at whiffing, so I like that rule.
Should you get 3 strikes maybe?
I think this is a really important game for Bostrom Bredberg.
Oh, they want to start this set well.
Can't be giving away games.
That second set, they got out to a 2-love lead and a 3-love game, and there were a couple of early games that could have gone a little bit either way. And once they started rolling, it went downhill fast for Broderick and Kahler, so they got to stay in this match.
Large crowd rooting for the hometown boys, Gart and Nolan.
Great move there by Kahler. Long reach. You can hear the crowd in the background there, Mark, cheering on Gart and Nolan in this tiebreaker.
I think it's 4 serving 5 in the breaker over there.
See if we can get an accurate report on that. That's a heck of a cut overhead. Nice shot. Little fist
Love
bump there from
15.
Broderick. It's good to see.
First point.
Okay, we now have the Araya Morneau match on the screen.
All right.
And I think it's 6-5 in the tiebreak, but I'm
Wow,
not
that's
sure
a
for
great
whom.
lob. Oh!
Ball's missed long.
Game
set, match.
and match.
Araya Morneau.
6-1, 7-6.
7-6.
What a great effort from the hometown
Good match,
boys,
guys.
though. Amazing. They're cramping, but they still find a way to get it to a tiebreaker in that second. Well done.
We hope you see more from Gart and Nolan. Love to see another top team come along.
You know, and that goes a lot to say about the paddle up here in Boston, how amazing and how it's improved over time. There's more and more guys playing. They got a great community up here.
Great drive from Bredberg.
It's a good off-pace drive. And you see Kahler close back in there, so it's a nice ball. Well done.
30-15. Really think it's important they stay with them. Not let
agree.
the set get away.
You know, things have been going in bunches in this match.
I think it's also hard to go against Drew.
Oh, just missed that cutter long.
Bunches is the story of Martin Bostrom's career, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I actually like the choice there, just overhit it a little bit. Too hard. Oh, that's a great dig. Nice hands there by Kahler.
Yeah, amazing shot by Kahler.
Bredberg very active at the net, looking to cut off the drives. Bostrom taking most of the overheads. Good play. Hey, why?
30-40.
Just a bad decision.
Yep. All right, break point.
He's won 3 nationals in a row, so it's been a very good play. Drew Broderick and Jared Malden. Wimbledon doubles.
What a get from Kahler. I think he stepped on the towel.
Yeah, that was a great job. Read that hard overhead, moved up the line, pushed it.
I don't think he plays that.
Great idea. But now they're down 2-love.
Yep, and I agree with you. It was important for them to stay with him. You got the feeling like they could push the momentum forward. That's a great play. Broderick anticipating the return there, cut it off.
You hate when you win a set as easily as they won that second set to let the mo go so fast.
Yep.
And it was those early errors, a couple of missed volleys from Sebastian Bredberger.
They played a loose first game. I wouldn't say that second game was specifically loose, but
No.
bad miss on the cut overhead there by Bostrom, and then maybe 1 point they want back.
If you're going to beat Drew Broderick, you can't do that.
No, it's all about opportunities. You know, he gives you few. In fact, that second set, he gave more points away than I've ever seen you give away. Ever. Yeah. Great shot.
Great sequence from Bredberg there.
Good footwork, too, to get around that ball. Oh, that's beautiful. Nice cover there by Kahler.
Boy, they really like the
Oh!
waterfall overheads. That was the first successful one of the match.
A bit of few. I mean, Bedroom's certainly hitting a lot of them.
Too many?
There was a period where, you know, we've talked about hitting the high down to up overhead as being a dangerous shot. If they combine it with the long low cutter, it can be effective. Love that shot. Goes at the body of Broderick. That's a good ball.
Like the positive energy from Bostrom and Bredberg.
Oh, Broderick went for a ball there. He made an ill-advised overhead into Bostrom, and then the next ball came, he just went for it. I don't know if he's a little ticked off about the overhead in the shot before, or just took a calculated risk.
Good swing.
30-40.
Just doesn't convert. They need this game. 3-love lead for Drew Broderick is kind of dawning.
Great blitz.
Oh, what a volley from Kahler.
Nice. Well done. That's good. Yes. Great cut.
You know, as soon as Bostrom wound up for that, I thought the point was going to be over. I didn't know who was going to win it, but I thought that was the last ball of the point.
Yeah, and you were right. So you had that one in. That was a great shot. You know, when you let the ball bounce like that, you get a little extra spin because the ball's bouncing up into your paddle than you do when you take it out of the air. That really cut back off that screen. Kahler couldn't come up with the dig. That was a big game, and I think you're right, Mark. They needed that one.
1-2, third set. Looking for our last semifinal team. Play on Sunday morning, the fourth APTA Grand Prix tournament of the season.
Right, and the winner of this match will take on Orion Morneau, our first seeds.
Drew Broderick is so quick around the court. That was a great drop shot from Bredberg.
That's good. Twisted his body.
Just
Just
misses
wide.
it wide.
Made him turn and move. Now more and more you'll see so many of the top teams use the signals for the serve and how they want to move. I think that's good advice for almost any player at any level to understand how you want to attack or how you want to approach a service game.
15 all.
Great movement by Bostrom to chase that one down, but then he misses the slash.
He's won a lot of points with him. I'm not going to fault him on that one. It's a ball he could have hit it on.
Nope, that was a good decision.
Oh,
15-30.
that one I'm less sure on.
Yeah, that was
Big
the wrong
game,
shot.
big point.
Getting tired. Didn't get set with his legs there.
But that's what Broderick does to you. It makes you feel like you have to do more to win the points some of the time. The key is to not fall into the trap.
You know that old Western movie, Brad? The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? Clint Eastwood movie?
Absolutely.
I think they were
Classic.
talking about Martin Bostrom's paddle game.
30 all.
Lucky there.
It's a good look for Broderick. Great serve. See Bredberg crossing in front,
Hit
and
the
then back
waterfall.
again. He's looking for that. That's what he's looking for, the drop.
Great get from Kahler.
He always does. He's going to be on the Hall of Fame for broadcast. No, but
Bredberg volleyed that one as he was bailing off the court.
Yep.
I got upset because one thing is to say, come on Thomas, come on Adam. The other thing is to start insulting the other guy. And that's what some guys were doing there. You know, the guys well, they would say, oh, we cannot see because of the light. They were making fun of it. That's when I, turn off the light for it, turn off the light.
Huge point, and both teams know it.
Yeah. That's
Great
a great
volley
shot.
from Bostrom.
He was right there. That's the danger of taking a ball when you're moving so far out of position. And he didn't. If you're going to do that, you got to hit that drive. Go for the shot, not hit a half-pace drive. Because he's out of position. You got to either make the guy hit a tough volley or don't hit the shot.
Kind of guided that ball.
Oh yeah, we're best friends.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wait, who? No, the guy in the crazy socks. Was,
Sebastian.
and the orange, yeah. So, a good friend of mine belongs to Stanley.
I didn't get it.
A hold for 2-all.
That was big.
Third set is tied 2-2.
All right, we got a match now. 2 interesting sets.
Oh yes, you know Tito. Yeah, exactly. But Tito is he's a good tennis player, good paddle player. Yeah, he's a good lefty. He's a good paddle player. But he lives down there. He's not a puppy. He lives down there. But so he knows this guy.
Yeah, well, I know him. I know him. With Sebastian, we always do something together. Great.
A great move from Bredberg there.
Yeah, he's so quick. And he made the right choice there. That was not a ball he could have put away, so he just kind of popped up the volley and got out of there. That's the Martin Bostrom ball. That's so beautiful.
There's Broderick extending the point. One more shot, which he does better than anybody in the country. This match really shifted when Bostrom started hitting more of the overheads.
Oh, that is unbelievable.
Great ball from Broderick.
Held that. Just didn't see it coming, Bostrom. Totally fooled him. Great shot.
I started.
So somewhere in the 125.
I started there February 2000. So yeah, 3 years exactly. Yeah, so I guess it's probably up on the
Oh, wow.
Good discipline by Bredberg not to play that ball.
Yep. Oh.
What a volley from
That's a great
Broderick.
volley.
Tom played with. Tom played with. Who did Tom play with?
That's a great dunk there.
Oh
Oh!
my goodness.
Little confusion. Oh, no.
Unbelievable play from Drew Broderick. A couple of spectacular digs.
That was a great point. I think, I mean, it was clearly Bredberg's overhead there, and there was a little confusion from Bostrom and Bredberg as to who was taking it. I think that serves long.
30-15.
Just a wide.
40-15.
And that's the Bredberg play. He rarely sticks the return, that heavy return. It's the dink and blitz. That's his offensive move.
First time we've seen that off the return tonight.
Not too many times, you're right.
Right down the line. You can't see it. You lose it, you're done.
But I always have trouble playing. Yeah, it was a while ago. Because I have very bad asymmetries. So really the changes like even when you play tennis, if I don't have shadows on the court, oh my god, I struggle so much.
Really? You can't get your eyes done.
I have, really bad. I mean, I have contact lenses, but it's not different.
Yeah, the lights here, they're good most of the time. If you get in the wrong angle, you're done.
I struggle, you know, but the progress, I struggle with any class. I'm just like, this class doesn't have words like that. So
I got a question. Is it
It's going to go wide. Nice volley.
Game Broderick Kahler. They lead
Bostrom
the third
Bredberg
set
have been
3
banging on the door
games to 2.
for a big win all season, Brad.
Yep. And here's an opportunity. Down 2-3 in the third set. It's right there. It's in the balance. I mean, like you said early on, Mark, if they continue to keep playing solid paddle, they got a good chance at this one. If the arrows creep back in, it's going to be a problem.
No, he travels with me to all the time. He comes to Chicago, he comes to all and we play like, no, he just... He's not going to race. He's not going to show. Second. Yeah, he just played a week ago. Exactly a week ago. He comes to all the year.
I like Bostrom Bredberg taking their time here in the changeover.
7:20. We got a lot of paddle left here. And then probably a late night party here at the Weston Golf Club.
New ball, switching after every 7 games.
That's a good return from Kahler. That's his offensive move, that taking that high return over the top. It's a good ball.
Yes. That would work.
I did get him the last time that we played. But no, he beat me at 7 years. He's a great athlete.
Uh-oh.
Love 30.
Little crack. And you see as the match progresses now, we had that second set where Broderick was making those errors. Now
No
his errors
errors.
have dropped up. Yeah, none from him.
You were on the team. Did you do that together? Yeah, no, we toured together. It's such a great event. Which is really special.
These guys are close to us.
Great meals.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's just the guy in blue.
Yeah, he's married. But not married. It's harder to get out on the course.
Kahler misses the lob long.
He didn't get his paddle set down underneath that ball, pushed it too far forward.
That's an overhead I'd like to see more of from Bostrom. He's got such a great roller. That's an overhead I'd like to see less of from Bredberg.
A great transition ball, though, smooth.
No, it's funny, we were just talking about.
It was like a repeat of 5 balls ago.
Oh, Jared Butler.
Nice.
Jared is in
Is that
California.
the definition of insanity, Brad?
He's playing
That one's coming. Great volley.
Misses
Oh!
that one.
30.
Touched that volley up there.
Why do you think Bredberg is hitting so many waterfall overheads to Kahler?
You know, I'm not sure if he wants him to go for the shot, but that's the shot he's going to make 9 times out of 10.
That has made virtually every time he's had it tonight. It's just such a bad risk-reward ratio for the overhead striker. If you get it over his head, he turns and he plays it. If you don't, he's slamming that overhead at you.
Nope.
30.
Whenever he's
40.
tried to change that direction and juice it up, he's missed it at least half the time. All right, here's the break. 4-2 lead for Broderick Kahler. They're keeping Drew busy over there, though.
They're clearly playing Broderick in the backcourt when they're not hitting Kahler waterfall overheads. Love that overhead. Great volley from Bostrom.
Nice.
What about Bredberg?
Oh, there's the break.
Game Broderick Kahler. They lead the third set 4-2.
Yes, stuck their head in the lion's cage one time too often, Brad.
See how they respond. Down a break now.
He's keeping track. He has some notes over there.
Full board again? With no bud?
No bud.
I know he's always.
Bredberg kind of floats around the court, doesn't he, Brad?
Moves great.
That last play, he was moving to his right to try and cut the ball off, changed direction, took a 2-wire ball, and then just kind of floated with his momentum back to the ad court.
It's very poetic there, Mark.
Reminds me a lot of George Wilkinson.
30.
The poetic part.
It's a good start to the game. Taking those first 2 points, that's a great volley.
15-30.
Great volley there behind.
Well, he read that one
30
well.
all.
Good piece of it, just misses it.
Yep. It's the right shot. I'm never upset.
Yep, I agree. That was clearly the right shot.
Dick Allen. He was forever.
Oh, what a shot! Now I got to see that one on replay. He came from all the way out there, elevated and hit the spike overhead. That was great.
As you were saying, Brad, he's just a beautiful mover.
Floating. See if we can get that at the changeover.
Chance to get back on serve right here.
Yeah, I like the way Bostrom and Bredberg are attacking the set. It doesn't feel like the serve set. It feels better, you know, tight, like they're in there. They're down a break, but it's all good. Nicely done.
Bredberg again, back-to-back spikes.
Broderick, Kahler lead the third set.
Let's see that replay if our crack crew has it. Really love the way Bredberg plays the game. Plays to his strengths. Doesn't have the big forehand. He'll hit it once in a while, but looks for the spike.
Yeah, uses his quickness.
Great in transition.
Play the ball low in the blitz.
Here's
let's see if this
the
is the
spike
play. That was a great break.
We went to the Fiesta Americana, but you know, the beach was fine. But then every night we went to this place, nightclub, super fun, Copacabana.
Should our commentary go in slow motion too? Here he goes. No, that's a great ball through the middle.
Okay, I think we got to get back to live action as they're starting again. First point.
Go. You see Bredberg looking for the volley that he can attack with a short drop, and Bostrom taking the overheads.
That was a risky overhead Bostrom hit, that big cut behind Bredberg.
But definitely worth it. Worth the story. Definitely worth it.
Great volley.
In the morning. After came back from
After the error-plagued second set, as you pointed out earlier, Drew Broderick's missed about 2 balls this third set. And that's his brilliance.
Yeah,
a game where 95% of the points end in errors, he doesn't give anything away.
Hopefully Chillick won't cry if he starts losing. He will lose, though.
Was it just you three?
Yeah. Well, he doesn't play until 3:30 this morning. Which is going to be taped. Now we're having a party. Are you?
Oh, that's great pace. What a dig.
How many Bredbergs are out there? I
That
just
was
saw him in the
great.
right corner, then the left corner.
Beautifully done.
His movement reminds me a lot of you, Brad.
I don't even know how to respond to that, Mark. That's a great ball. Oh, misses the transition ball. Great digs there by Bredberg.
Great playing.
When Sevi hit the spike.
3-4, 15 love.
Well, no, he's better.
He's already on it.
I'd like to see Bredberg successful with one of those order-fall overheads.
Well, he's
Just
had
one.
Had a few, I think, but some have been stuffed back.
Some?
But I like they have a clear strategy now. Bredberg taking all the overheads.
Bostrom
taking all the overheads. Sorry, Bredberg looking for drop shots and cutoff volleys. And Bostrom's taking so many overheads now that he's gotten a rhythm on it. Hasn't missed one in a while unless he tries to overplay it a little bit.
I played
Should not take that. They should not take that.
At least he's not trying to volley them after Kahler
Nope,
crushes
he
them.
goes back. They got the net again.
There we go, a successful waterfall overhead.
High five. Got the head nod from Dan Englander out there in the crowd. 30 love, great playing, exciting points. Oh, that's a
Big
great
rip
return.
from Kahler.
Yeah, he stuffs it down. High to low, that return.
30-15.
No, 3-4, 30.
Bostrom has really volleyed well this third set.
Like we said earlier, you know, if the airs dry up, he's a great player, one of the best in the country.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That probably was from when Sevi jumped to hit the spike. The dent on the side wire. That's good info for whoever plays here tomorrow. Mark, if you play
Oh!
Reached
that
too far.
Slow pace on that. What a shot.
bend on the back, bend on the side, bend on the back. Come here, if you're here, you see it.
30 all.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Another big return from Kahler.
Oh, yeah, he's really drawing a bead on it. Starting to feel confidence.
Oh,
Wow,
what a shot.
What a shot.
You have to be careful not to hit that side wire too short against Bredberg. He'll step around and hit an overhead.
Well, he's another guy with a
That is
great
good one
spike.
from
There it
Bostrom.
is.
40-30.
Point for 4 all. Match has gotten really good, Brad, hasn't it?
Really tight. The airs are dried up on both sides. They're playing tough points. But this is the mark of good teams. You know, when the timing comes to bear down, you do. Oh! How about that?
They're saying
He's
it
saying
went
it
off
hit
his
his
arm.
hand.
Oh, he said he didn't hit him.
Bostrom does not
Bostrom
like
is
that.
sure it hit him, but
We're going to try and get a replay of that in a minute. Hopefully on the changeover.
Otherwise,
assuming we have another changeover.
well, it's deuce at this point. And it's on a call by the net person to call it on himself if it hits him. The umpire apparently did not see it. Bostrom thought it hit him for sure. Nope.
Oh.
Advantage, Broderick.
Back to deuce.
Deuce.
Oh, that's great volley. There's the spike. And there's the spike back. All right, we'll see if we can get a replay on that game point we had a couple of balls ago.
Well, that looked wide.
That did to me.
Great sportsmanship by Drew Broderick.
Drew calls it out on himself. That's nice of him.
Bredberg.
Another point for 4-all.
Wow. No! You don't see him go for that often. Once in a while, though.
Great swing. Catches the top of the tape.
Good cutoff volley there by Bostrom.
Is he volleying well?
I can see you shaking your head, Mark.
Brad, I am utterly mystified by the number of waterfall overheads Sebastian Bredberg has hit tonight.
It seems to be the one he's going to. That's the shot he wants to play. So he has some reason, and maybe he'll fill you in one time or another.
I saw it coming. Here we go. What's the order? And the next one being another one.
That's a good third wire smash. Move him out of position. To create some movement in that backcourt team. Nope.
Well, it's nice that Martin Bostrom spread the wealth around there, and he took the waterfall overhead to Kahler. Point for 5-3.
Oh, and there it is.
Let's take a quick look at that replay we've got. Controversial call.
Replay there.
For Drew Broderick serves for the match at 5-3.
All right, here we go. This transition, it's off the net.
No.
Can't tell from that angle if it hit his handle or his hand.
Looked good to me from that angle.
It did.
Oh, he did it again.
There's that spike from Kahler. He's hit it only 75 times.
You know, Brad, I think I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to tire his elbow out, having to hit that spike every time.
Well, they don't mind transitioning back, but they're not gaining anything from it. Oh, they're forcing and jumping around a little now.
It's not my best shot. I think people should just try it. Short spikes.
Forehand there from Bredberg. 15 all.
Deft down the line, mishit it. Great blitz. Lost his balance there.
30-15.
Love the positive response from Bostrom. Oh, what a shot from Bredberg. Bostrom misses the forehand, takes us to match point. Oh, there it is. Game, set, and match. Broderick, Kahler, 6-3.
They win 6-3.
You know, definitely things came in bunches there, Mark. It looked like it was right tight, and then that quick turnaround on that game point for Bredberg and Bostrom. Ball goes off the handle of Broderick's racket for a winner. And at that point, you know, it was actually all Broderick and Kahler. So kudos to them. They move on to the semifinals against Orion Morneau. And tomorrow, stay tuned, everybody, at 9 o'clock. We'll have the men's semifinals. Any final thoughts, Mark?
Well, what do you see tomorrow, Brad? We have the real fast-paced matchup with Hughes Powers and Durant Parsons. How do you see that unfolding?
You know, Hughes Powers and Durant Parsons, I'm really looking forward to that one. You know, it's actually the first time back in a long while, you know, for Parsons and Durant, and this is the first time that Hughes Powers go in as the second seed, and they don't have a victory yet over Durant and Parsons. So you have to wonder, do they feel like the second seed? Do they feel like the favorite team, even though they had a tremendous year and a huge breakout at the Dwayne Hayden Long Island Invitational, winning that one, then winning the Western Penn Invitation, Western Massachusetts Longmeadow after that. So I think if they believe they're the first seed, I might call them the favorites in that match.
And how about in the other match, the Orion Morneau match versus Broderick Kahler?
You know, Orion Morneau, Broderick Kahler is just going to be another great battle. And I think I'm going to give the edge to Orion Morneau in that one, just based on the fact that they're an established team and they got great finishing shots. You know, Broderick and Kahler aren't going to go away. They're not going to miss for you. But I feel like they're not going to set them up for as many offensive shots as possibly Bostrom and Bredberg did there in that match.
They did an excellent job there.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll look forward to a great semifinals tomorrow.
Okay, that'll be 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and that's a wrap, delivered by Uline. We'll leave you with a few highlights. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning for another full day of live streaming from the Boston Open, presented by the Weston Golf Club.